Hey Gemini, what's going on? We're here with the timeless reading. Welcome. All right, first card that we have out is Temperance and Ten of Wands. Okay, there can be something, it can feel like a busy time right now. Temperance is about working with what you have. It feels too like balance is going to be really important right now, so there can be like so little time, so much to do. Starting off with Temperance shows that if you like take your time and you do things properly, that you're going to be able to work through this and you're going to make the fastest progress. But if you, I'm hearing philanthropize, prize. Okay. If you, I lost my train of thought. If you prioritize, you're going to be fine. But you're gonna have to prioritize, which means too that like you can't rush things. Well, you can rush things, but this is how you're gonna get the best results from this. You have a lot going on. Temperance is like, take your time, you have to do what needs to be done. So it means like addressing whatever it is that you need to address. Break things down. Do not take things on that are unnecessary at this time because you already have a lot. So putting on anything unnecessary onto your plate can be sort of putting you in a place of detriment because of that. Be patient with the process. This is definitely something that you're going to go through, but it is a process here. So it can be something that this is going to teach you to, in this moment, to consistently prioritize because of all the stuff that's going on. It's like I'm seeing these two parts of you. The part of you that's going to have to do all of the work or all of the stuff that's in front of you is sort of looking to this other part of you to stick with this and to be organized and to like be on time with things is the feeling that I get from this, and to be willing to sort of set yourself up for success right here rather than making this more chaotic than it needs to be. That's what I'm seeing. Balance is going to be very important, and making sure again that you're prioritizing. I'm seeing that be a very big thing. A new door is opening, I'm seeing. But this can be something where you're like, I already have all of this going on. Now this is happening too. It can just feel like an inconvenient time when this occurs. You have an opportunity to connect is what this looks like. It looks like someone wants to hang out with you, spend time with you, connect with you. This is an option. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. This is somebody that cares for you is what I'm seeing. Like they feel emotionally attached, connected. I think there's a part of you that's like, but I have all of this stuff that I have to do, so you can feel again like this is not the most convenient time for it to be happening, but I'm seeing this person show up and be like want to go over here with me, like that type of thing. This looks like somebody that just like loves you for who you are. I'm seeing it be like that type of connection. So it's just somebody that's like I'm getting a friendly type of vibe here. Regardless of what the definition is of your relationship, they just enjoy you as a person. So I'm seeing that be like the main theme between the two of you. It would also be important to this person that you be emotionally present if you do hang out with them, just to give more information about where they are with things. Okay, there's something that you're working out here. Conflict that's being addressed. You may feel like this just overwhelms your system a bit. I also get the vibe of you feeling like you could feel like you're having a bunch of different feelings and they're all sort of clashing into one another, and you're like, what am I supposed to do with this? And it can just feel like overwhelming. I'm getting that part just in general about the way that you're feeling. 5 of Pentacles can feel like this is never gonna get resolved, or like I feel hopeless in this situation, or like I don't know if I can do this. It can be that type of thing that you can be feeling. It can be a lot going on here. Having Temperance shows, though, that if you just stick with this and you patiently, like one foot after the other, this is going to get worked out. So it's telling you to, it's encouraging you to stick with it. That's what the advice is, but you get to do whatever you want here. I'm feeling stuck. I'm seeing a door open, but I'm seeing you almost feel frozen, like you can't move towards it. But it's not because your legs aren't working, it's because your mind is not like connected with the rest of you. You can sort of feel like that. Like things aren't communicating with one another. The mental component of this feels like the most challenging of all of it, actually. But you're really going the distance here. Temperance and Three of Wands is telling you, be patient with the process. It's recognizing all of the progress that you've made. It's also saying too that you're going to get where you're trying to go, but you need to respect the journey because it is a journey. So this isn't like you snap your fingers and you're already there. I'm seeing something that is a process. You're going to get where you're trying to go, but you have to participate in the process in order to get there. It's like you have to do the travel to get to the location, essentially. This is like an energetic obstacle that you're moving through, and it does feel like a relationship is involved in this, like hanging in the balance. Conflict is being worked out, one foot in front of the other. You can be feeling overwhelmed right now, but if you will just keep doing this and making sure that you're prioritizing what needs to be prioritized. That can also be something that you're working out too, where you're like, well, what needs to be prioritized? That's also just part of this process. But Temperance is saying like those things are going to be revealed to you as you move through it. So if there's anything that you don't know, when you get to that point, the information is going to be there for you and you'll know what to do. Ace of Wands, normally, if like all of this other stuff wasn't going on, you could see it and be like, it's a break, like fresh air, you know, like an ace is potential, it's the door that's opening. But because of everything that you have going on and it being a somewhat stressful time, you can feel almost like you're looking at that and being like, another thing on my plate, rather than being excited at like the variety that's sort of showing up. You can be like, I don't need any more variety right now. I already have all of this. And you can feel too with 10 of Wands, like nothing else can fit on my plate. So even if I wanted to do that, I almost don't know if I can fit that on my plate. So this is where the picking and choosing and prioritizing is going to come up. But you could be at a space where you're like, I don't know which one to pick. I don't know which one to pick. You could also feel like something is just draining you now at this point too. But I'm seeing that you've really come a long way. I keep seeing this again, balance. If you're doing anything that's not allowing you to keep things balanced or keep your life in harmony, that can be one of the first things that you look at. Like, is anything getting in the way of that? But you're gonna have to be really honest with yourself here. If there's anything that you're doing right now, this is where to start. If there's anything that you have going on right now, Gemini, that you look at it and you're like, if I kept this to myself, like it wouldn't really be a thing. But like if this was sort of put on the screen for everybody to look at, like what it is that you've been up to, there are some things that you'll be like, yeah, I feel really good about like everybody seeing that, versus other things where you're like, oh, that's not really aligned for me, or that's not really reflective. If you have anything like that going on, this is a time where you can change those things. It's an opportunity, but it can be difficult to do that. And it can be something that even at this point, you're like, I don't know if I can work this out. This can feel like something that maybe is like a bit too big at times. I'm not seeing that it is. Temperance is being willing to work with this. Temperance is also about moderating too. So that can be a place where you start, even if there's something that you're going to continue doing, you can moderate it, and that'll be helpful. Because if you're doing anything in an extreme sense, it's not going to let you tend to all the other things that you need to tend to. And you'll feel like that can kind of be your downfall in this situation. So it's like, correct it now before this gets even worse than it is, and it can, is what I'm seeing. Even though you can be like, I don't see how it could get like more extreme than this, I'm seeing that it can. So before anything like that happens, it's like you can get this under control, is what I'm seeing. But there can be a part of you that's like, then I'm gonna have to change what I'm doing. Is it worth it to you? I think that's really the question here. You'll feel good about what you're doing when you feel like it's in congruence with your values. And like how you can know that is that like somebody that you respect, think about somebody that you respect, seeing what you're doing and what you're up to. Again, there will be certain things that you're doing where you're like, yeah, I want them to see this because that really aligns with my values, like how I want to be perceived and what aligns with my core, versus doing other things and then being like, don't look at this part, because you can be like, I don't think that I'm showing up the way that I should be for this. And that's going to tell you how to edit things. But you have to be in a space where you're being totally honest with yourself. Because if there are things that you want to close your eyes to, then you're not even going to recognize it in the first place. You'll keep doing what you're doing. The conflict is going to grow and grow, and it can lead to something totally toppling over. Even though you have a door opening that can be like in a way a fresh start, or something where it's like, this can be like a new avenue that I'm going to take or something like that, you can feel like it's just a bit much right now, but it's actually coming at the perfect time. But it can feel difficult with everything else that's going on because of that. I'm seeing you definitely have come a long way, but there's something that's like a bit of an internal battle that you're working out right now. Be patient with yourself. You're going to get where you're looking to get to. You need to take practical steps for this, all right? You're definitely going to get there if you decide to stick with this and apply yourself here. And allow the process to like participate fully in this process. And don't lose sight of where you're trying to go, of like what's important to you. Because this even feels like the future that you're trying to like navigate towards or like build, like that type of thing. And working out this internal conflict that you're feeling is sort of like the challenge in front of you that needs to be worked through, that will clear the path, that will clear the way. A little bit at a time. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.